if you can get those first two things straight.
Right.
And it's see, so often in the last few decades, psychologists and other people who are well-meaning have told everyone, you're okay the way you are. You should feel good about yourself. It's like, I think that's a terrible message for young people, especially young people. It's not a great message for anybody, but it's especially bad for young people, because many young people are suffering from, say, a crisis of meaning and purpose. And if you tell them, well, you're okay the way you are, it's like there's no direction for them. What you tell young people is, look, you know, you're young and you're making mistakes and you don't know what you're doing exactly, but there's something to you, man. If you could tap into the potential that lies within you, let's say, if you could take on a noble attitude towards the world and work to rectify suffering and to constrain malevolence, God only knows what you could become. And more importantly than that, that's how our entire society views you. The reason that individual sovereignty inheres in you, why you have the rights of a citizen, and why you're regarded as a sovereign individual, is because our entire culture over thousands of years has actually decided, tens of thousands of years, has actually decided that there's something in you of ultimate value that the entire stability of the entire society depends on, that you could bring forward and nurture, and that the world would definitely be a lesser place without. That's way better than you're okay the way you are.
Right. And the economy and jobs and education. What does... I just want to make sure I'm getting this right. You're saying, well, those things are going to be problems. They're probably going to go bad as well as badly as well as go well. But never mind all that. Never mind what happens in Congress or with the presidency or whatever. You can take responsibility for your life right here today by doing what sorts of things?
Well, one of the things that's become somewhat of an internet meme, and people have made all sorts of jokes about this, is that I've suggested, sort of tongue-in-cheek, but not entirely, that people stop protesting and start by cleaning up their rooms. And you know, it's not something that's really any different than your mother probably told you endless dozens of times. But the thing is that, especially if you live in a disordered household, it's actually not that easy to put your room in order. First of all, you have to learn to do it. You have to think, well, what am I going to do with my closet? What sort of clothes should be in here? How am I going to present myself to the world? How am I going to be organized so that when I wake up in the morning, I feel like engaging in the day? How do I set up my room so that when I walk in, it's the sort of place that brings out the best in me? How do I put necessary order in this small area, which I have right in front of me? It's like, well, it's good practice to do that. And it's not because a good person keeps the room clean. It's not that. It's because you're setting the stage for the person that you want to be. And this has caught fire to some degree, this idea, because I'm taking this simple concept, which is, well, you should clean up your room, and saying, well, no, you don't exactly understand, is that you have a little bit of reality right here in front of you, and it's been granted to you, and you actually have some control over it.
See, this is what I think is really, I love that, because a lot of your critics, we'll get to some of them later, they describe your message as somewhat dark and
it isn't somewhat dark, it's very dark.
Right, okay, you acknowledge that. But actually, what you've just described there is hope. It's hopeful. It's like, okay, the world may be chaotic, but I can do something about